Hi, this is Chad Lindsay with Paychex. I'm going to go through a quick review with you on your online HR department, which comes with your base payroll services package with Paychex. So if you are curious on how you're going to get some of your human resources issues handled, this is a great place to start. If you have an employee, guess what? You have human resource issues. Your employee is your human resource. And you need to learn how to manage them appropriately based upon state and federal laws. The big question is where are you going to go as a small business to get the most up-to-date information on what is being done with employee issues in your state and on the federal level. If you don't currently have a resource, you need this, and you need to check on it quarterly at minimum. So we're going to go ahead and roll right into this, and I'm going to explain to you a couple things that are important to you that'll be quick. This is your heads-up display, and there's some information here as it pertains to some quick ideas on how to help you. If you decided, you said, hey, I want to look at Florida, and I want to run through every possible state law and issue to get caught up on that, this would be your opportunity to do that by category. So if you want to learn about drug testing, mandated benefits, minimum wage, we'll go ahead and click on that and check on that as an example and say go. And we will have a chance to see that. It's going to come up with what's the most updated law as it pertains to Florida state minimum wage, and what is that information. So effective January 1st, 2012, it is $7.67 per hour and $4.65 per hour for tipped employees. There's some data here that'll help you understand. If you decided you wanted a poster that you could print out to explain that, you could definitely print that out there. So that's an example of how you could use this website to help you get up-to-date information. But the big picture here is when you have an employee goes through a life cycle from candidate all the way to termination. And as you work yourself as an employer to do the appropriate things, really following the process of that life cycle with that employee, there's certain laws that you want to keep up with. So here's an example of how this website is going to help you with that. Here is a template section of employee applications that are already fit with the Florida state laws and statutes. So it's going to ask the appropriate questions that you can ask, and it's going to give you a template so you can kind of stay in compliance with the state laws. So another issue, if you have an applicant, that means you've already had a candidate and you're moving on to employing that person. Well, here's an example of a checklist of forms that you kind of want to put in place so that you can be compliant with the state. So you can kind of look at that and see what you want to do there. Go ahead and go back. And I'm going to show you the last little piece here just to help you understand the things that you can immediately have access to here. Here's some termination forms or a process that you can use to appropriately terminate an employee and do it without getting yourself in trouble. And as we find in Florida, it's a state where you can fire at any time for any reason, but it doesn't mean you won't be sued for how you handle the process. And we see that more often than not. This is the information I have for you. I hope it was helpful in walking you through your online HR department, and look forward to having you as a client. Thank you.